We are back again. I'm going to do this. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. So I will be answering everyone's questions as we go down the line. Yes. So, all right. So I'm going to try to thank you $5 super chat for John Lemley. So we is live. Okay, what's going on, Frank? We got our members in here: Shy Boy, Patriot, Krillin, Carly, Hank, Echo. We got all you guys in here. So, all right. So yeah, basically, I was explaining something before the other thing cut out, and so we'll try to pick it up. So what's going on, guys? And yes, I got Jill right here hanging out. Yeah. So it's been a little bit. The last thing that we put out was the Resident Evil 3 review show, and that was on the 20th of April. So it's been about 3 weeks or so. And just want to kind of update you guys on what's been going on. I'll answer some questions, obviously, once we get there. I'm just going to fill in pretty much the last few weeks for you guys. So, we put out, Resident Evil 3 came out, and we did the live stream on that. We did a couple of the interviews, which I'm really happy about, and the Jeff Shine interview is going to be going up soon as well. So we got them done, and we obviously had to prepare for the show, which is a long show. But of course we had to kind of cover everything. Most of you liked it. Most of the community liked the show, the last podcast episode, which is cool. It's always good because those shows, the longer in-depth shows, take a lot of preparation and a lot to do. And they're not your normal like couple hours. They're or hour and a half. They're pretty long. So we did that, and that was good. That went off really well. And of course, we had to, and what I kind of explained on the community post. Definitely, yeah. Resident Evil 3 remake. It's the Inferno run was really fun. Inferno is fun. All the modes have been fun. Basically, I took a lot of that time after RE3 when it came out, and I just played a shit ton of it more to prepare. So I haven't played it in about a week now, but let's see. Yeah, I see some questions here. Patriot said, "Let's talk Resident Evil. Honest talk. Why is RE number series keep occurring? I think it should have ended with 5 because of Wesker. If it started with Wesker, it should end with Wesker." Some people feel that way. I think they're always going to try to keep the number series to try to use that as their way of trying something new for them to get away with it, so they can like get away with all the wacky stuff that they end up, changing. So it's a little different with that. But some people feel that way. I understand like why people think that after 5 or after a certain point they shouldn't have kept going. But I guess if there's a story to tell, then they're going to try to tell it the best that they can. But yeah, so basically in April we put that out, and but right around the time we put out the show was right around the time we had to go back to work for our jobs. Me and John work at the same place, and we pretty much had to go back to work. We were deemed essential, so unlike staying home and doing everything like that, we were able to get. Our company was not doing anything for that like month time of April, so it didn't really stop us as far as the Legacy series. If anything, it just helped us because we were able to get through more stuff, so really our content flow didn't really change at all. So there's a lot of kind of flexing we have to do with the schedule. We have to kind of work stuff in, because now that me and John went back to work right around the time we put out the last podcast episode, like I said, which was about 3 weeks ago, we've been working for almost a month now. And so, that's also why our content hasn't been as consistent, or hasn't been released on specific days, because we've been just trying to make it work. Obviously, we're always working on stuff and always doing stuff, but in regards to like meeting up for recording shows and live streaming, we're just currently trying to work it out. And I think we're gonna adapt to it. However long we run the operation, like we're running it in regards to like curbside and stuff like that. Maybe a few more months, and maybe all summer. But of course we'll adapt, and I know that you guys will show up for any live stream or anything that we show up with. And of course we always let you know in the community. We let you know on social media like when we're going live, so that will probably be the best way to kind of stay in touch as to like what we're doing, because yeah, thanks, Damon. Yeah, we do got to make the money. So basically it's just trying to stay safe and stay sane, and still give you guys content when we can. And we do have a lot planned for this month. But of course, so we had to deal with that and going back to work. And as you guys know or may not know, I did put up a community post about a week ago, letting people know the status of my cat Midnight, because he was sick for a while, and he did pass away the first week of May. We did put him down, so I was dealing with that as well. So I had to take care of him for a week, and then obviously the following week after that is when we had to make the decision. And 15 years with him, he lived a good life, and he was a big part of the family, so definitely a big loss. So I had to deal with that as well, on top of everything, on top of going back to work and figuring out scheduling and doing all that stuff. So rest in peace, Midnight. And definitely he's in a better place. He's not suffering anymore. And he was sick for a little while, but towards the end it got really bad. So I had to kind of keep that in mind, and put family first, obviously. So that happened in the first week of May. So, but now we're approaching the middle of May now, and I've had enough time to myself and to thank you guys for your condolences. Damon Post says, my condolences to your cat. Sorry to hear that. Hockey fan, thank you. Patriot Joseph, thank you. Stuff like that, it happens, and you're never really prepared for it. So that also happened. So I wanted to kind of update you guys on that. Of course, if you didn't see the post that I made, that's why I wanted to say it here in the video. But it's okay. Like I said, we're getting through it, and we're gonna be streaming Lost in Nightmares. So we are going to be coming back this Thursday with Lost in Nightmares. We did a vote for the members. The members voted on. We took the sudden death to the actual community, but the community voted, and Lost in Nightmares is going to be the next thing that we do. Our return to the live stream, because obviously there's DLC and there's extra modes and stuff that we're going to go back and do for the Legacy series that of course we didn't have time to do when we were doing our main run of games. So we're going to do that. And yes, thank you, John, thank you, Kyle, and Dangerous Girl. I appreciate that. May he rest in peace in heaven. That is true. Yes. And we're going to play some games in his memory, of course, and we're gonna honor that. And so we're gonna continue the Legacy series, of course, with doing Lost in Nightmares, and that will be where we start. And then, of course, we'll just kind of go through each game, because we have a lot of stuff that we can go back and play and do. And the live streams, obviously, like we said, they don't stop after Resident Evil 3. We still have a lot of stuff that we want to do. And we do have 2 shows that we are going to record this month as well. So you may be getting 3 shows. You may be getting you will be getting the Jeff Shine interview. That's a given. And the second one will be a Resident Evil 4 remake review show. Us talking about the Resident Evil 4 remake. We have been staying up to date with it. We have been, talking about it here and there, but we're going to be doing a video talking about how we would want the remake to be or what it would do. Just kind of like bringing our own. It's going to be a longer show. The next one is going to be, of course, Resident Evil 8 Village or The Village or Resident Evil 8, whatever you want to call it, RE8, and talking about all the news that has come out up until this point, because more stuff kept coming out a little bit throughout the month of April and May, and we got some information together. So that's going to be another show. So of course May isn't going to stop with the shows. We put out 2 last month. We're going to probably put out 3 this month. It's just a matter of when we're going to record them. We're probably going to record them, sometime this week or next week, or so. But pretty much when we meet up to stream. Because if we can get a day where we're both off and there isn't like any issues or anything like that in regards to like scheduling, we can just get like a whole day to do a bunch of stuff like we used to do before the pandemic and everything like that. So so we have a lot that we have planned. Is that a Black Sabbath movie poster in the background? No, this is The Shining right here. Carrie is back there, and then Frankenstein is right here. And then I have all the Jason ones over here. I've moved my setup down here as well, so I have everything's kind of shifted a little bit. So we have a lot of stuff that we're gonna be doing, and we have a lot. What's up, JK? We have a lot of stuff planned, and this is the Universal Monster Frankenstein right here, and then that is The Shining right up there. That's the poster at the end, or the picture at the end. Sorry. Of course we're gonna be very excited to give you guys more content, more shows and stuff like that, and I'll probably be. Where's the bee, Anthony? Yeah, what's funny is like the bee. I called it a bee, but I should have called it a wasp, because that's really what it was. I didn't want to make it seem like I was killing like a bumblebee. That motherfucker was a wasp, but I called it a bee, and I shouldn't have called it a bee because it wasn't a bee. It was a wasp. But yes, the wasp is dead. He almost killed me, and that scared me off of streaming for 3 weeks. No, I'm kidding. But it seemed that way, right? It seemed like after that I just disappeared for a while, and that was because the wasp scared me to death. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I could do a round of questions if anyone has questions here. Hockey Fan says, quick question. Do you guys prefer us to donate through Patreon or through YouTube? It doesn't matter, Hockey Fan. The perks are the same through each one. Obviously, YouTube is definitely where most of the people are, like as far as like supporting and everything. So it's up to you if you want to do a YouTube member. You're always in the live stream. So if you donate through YouTube, or if you want to support us through YouTube, you get perks through the live stream. So that seems to be the way a lot of people go. But the Patreon option is just kind of there for people, whatever. Some people like getting the little highlighted name and the you get a little picture with your thing, so with your name. So you get those perks through YouTube. So it's up to you, man. Any way you want to support us, seriously, we appreciate that. You've been supporting us for a while, especially me and Perry. Dangerous Girl says, do you play Resistance? I haven't really played Resistance, to be honest with you. When is your birthday? February 22nd. It passed. Can you make Michael Does Life shut the fuck up about real Ari fans? Yeah, eventually we should do something like that, because that guy's always crazy, and he's always on to the next trend. Like, I saw that he was bashing Last of Us 2 and everything like that, and he gets really happy when some of that stuff goes wrong, I guess, in the way. So it's funny. $10 super chat from John Lemley says, where's the electronics department located? Oh man, Yeah, I'm so happy I don't got to hear that for a long time. Because we're probably not going to be opening doors for a long time. I can't imagine that we are. So, yeah, thank God that question will be laid to rest. And, um, I mean, I haven't had it over the phone yet. So, I mean, but I mean, maybe someone will call and they'll think that we'll be open like normal and they'll ask for that. I don't know. Um, was it one of the murder wasps? No, it wasn't, Jackie Boy. It wasn't the murder hornets that are flying around, but it did predate that. But you never know. I mean, you never know what can come over here and attack us. So, we got to be ready. We got to have the Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield tactics. We have to be skillful because they fought the bees, and we have to fight the bees. And Nicolas Cage fought the bees, but he didn't win. So that's a problem. We don't want to end up like him. Uh, Dangerous Gross's RE3 was still a success, though. I also heard rumors of a Mercenaries mode. Well, if there's a Mercs mode, that'd be cool. I mean, you know, maybe they realize that it's, stupid of them to, like, not fucking include Mercenaries mode, because that was, like, a really big part of that game. And I really don't understand why, you know, I really don't get why people, you know, overlook Mercenaries, because it's like, it was so good. I hope so. I hope they're true. Ryan Redfield says, being here is how I get away from RE3 Remake, hate, and Last of Us Part 2. And for that, I thank you, Anthony and John, and everyone in the chat. Well, no problem, Ryan. We got you. JK says, have you guys ever did a dual video with Sphere Hunter? Love it. Sphere Hunter, it's hard to get in contact with certain people. I've never tried to reach out to Sphere Hunter. I know she follows me on Twitter, but I never had direct conversation with her, and she probably wouldn't want to collaborate. But maybe that's just me thinking negatively or whatever. But I mean, like, a lot. It's hard. Let's just say it's hard when people have that much of a following. It's hard because, like, how many people are hitting her up for a collaboration. You know what I mean? So this is one of those things where it's like, what the fuck do you even do? Bob Wall says, LOL, he's already trying to capitalize off RE4 remake and RE8. Y'all should end his career in a debate. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, people call in and play into his stuff, so who knows? Let's see. I'm still lost. Why wasn't there any ink ribbons? Yeah, I guess there was autosave, but, like, that was kind of a letdown. They didn't really... I don't know. I just like the fact that in Hardcore and RE2 there wasn't auto-saving, and then there was the ink ribbons that gave the feeling of the old Resident Evil games, and I wish that RE3 had that. And yes, Echo, I wish there was freeze rounds. Emmanuel, look forward to that Jeff Shine interview. It's really good. He was a really awesome guy. Juan says, Anthony RE4 Remake will be the second greatest survival horror game of all time. Nobody will top original RE4 GameCube. I don't know. You never know. Old Mikhail or new Mikhail? Which one was more badass? Actually, I really like the new one, because I just feel like just between his acting and it was really well done, and he did go out like a badass. So I like both, but I definitely like the new one a lot. He seemed to be just in it more, even if he wasn't really in it that much more. I like both though. I mean, it's definitely. I feel the same way about him as I feel like Carlos. Like I like him over the original Carlos. What's up, Sarah S? We're doing well. I'm doing well, rather. Nemi going into the save room was a nice small surprise despite the content cuts. He never really went into the save room. I don't know what you're talking about. What's up, PlayStation Gamer? Thanks for joining. Fellow mod is in the chat. Seat bud. New Mikhail is better acted, but he's not more present. I would argue and say that he's probably just about the same, because he's on the trolley just the whole time, and then like he has his little escape cutscene, and then that's it. So it's like he's on the trolley, and then by the time you get to the clock tower, so around the same, I would say. Patriot says, when it comes to Carlos in RE3 Remake, his performance and jokes are basically like Leon from RE4. Similar, yeah. Definitely has like a sarcastic kind of thing. What are your thoughts on Resident Evil Remix? I don't know what that is, PlayStation Gamer. I mean, the new Mikhail was mocapped and voiced by Lieutenant Gorman from Aliens, and you can't get more badass than that. Yeah, he was awesome. I thought he did a great job. He can't go into that safe room near Murphy. He stops and then he appears when you go through the where the fire hydrant was. So no, he does not come through that save room. Damon Poe says, "What's everyone been playing recently?" I'm on my third playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2. Damon Poe, that's a good thing he asked. I've been playing, I'm playing some PlayStation 1 recently. I've actually been hooking up the old consoles, playing some older games. But I still have to beat Doom Eternal, and I have been playing a lot of Friday the 13th on PC, and so that's been cool. And I would say I do have to beat Red Dead 2. I actually got it on PC and I installed it, so I have it on PC. It's a mod of Resident Evil 1 made in RE4. Oh shit. That's pretty cool. Gonna have to check that out. Yeah, the soundtrack credit theme is awesome. The soundtrack in RE3 is great. That's true, Scott. You've been saying it's been Billy for ages. Yeah, it is. It was kind of like a missed opportunity. They didn't go back and kind of explore. But sometimes like less is more. I feel like if you know less about a BOW, the better. Sometimes like I like the mystery behind it. Yeah, Quillen, I could see that. I mean, I think, remakes will be there for the newer people that might want to be into the series, but then the classics are always there for you to play. So I feel like, once they come out, it's kind of like, all right, it's honoring it. If it's worse or better, that's up to the person, I guess, playing, but it gives someone initiative to get into the series. Um, Ryan says, also, I didn't know if anyone ever made a mod for the music for the Flamethrower Nemesis boss and replaced it through the Fire of the Flames by Dragon Force. I don't think anyone's done that yet. Someone should do it, though. $10 super chat from John Lemon says, a potential problem I've noticed with the remakes is the use of objectives. It goes against the idea of the original of having to think and doing things in whichever order you want. Now, I agree. It kind of just gives you, like, you get all of these pieces and then you have to run and get them yourselves, but there's like a main idea of what you should be doing. I see what you're saying, but yeah, I guess it just kind of ties into the more modern approach, right? Like it seems like that's kind of what they want. $2 super chat from Jackie Boy says, hit up the likes. That's right. Got about 60 of you in here. Hit that thumbs up, the like button. I appreciate that. It's been a while since we streamed, even for a little bit. So I appreciate all the support and the likes and the comments. And oh yeah, that reminds me of talking about stuff that's on the horizon. I just got my Resident Evil 3 vinyl from Laced Records, which means I can now record my Resident Evil collection update, including the Jill statue, which you see here. Of course, I did an unboxing of it on stream when we did the 27-hour stream. So I did that, and I'm going to show off that, a couple other cool things that I got in that time. And yeah, so I wanted to wait for the vinyl to come in. It was a little bit delayed because of COVID, obviously. So some of the shipping stuff was a little delayed. Is it possible for a future DLC for RE3? Like Ghost Survivors? Maybe Mercenaries. I mean, that seems to be what people are talking about. But Hockey Fan says the Outsider remix by APC should be the soundtrack for RE3. I love that remix. I love A Perfect Circle, too. Dangerous Girl says the remix actually brought me into the series. I've been obsessed ever since, especially Resident Evil 3 is one of my favorite games, classic and remake. Plus, I think RE6 is kind of fun too. Yeah, it definitely can be, especially co-op, But exactly, it's a good way to get people in, to bring people in. John Lumley, $5 Super Chat says that Superman 64 playthrough is going to be fun to watch. Well, It's gonna have to happen eventually. I don't know if we can even beat it, to be honest with you, John. But we're gonna play it because you donated that much money. We're gonna have to play it on a stream. It could be a long stream, of us trying to get through it, but like literally beating it is impossible. Like I'm telling you that right now, and I know that you know that, and that's part of the joke. But um, top 5 RE games right now? Asked Juan. Man, that's a good question. It'd probably be 3 remake, 3 remake, Resident Evil 3 original, Resident Evil remake 2002, Resident Evil 1 original, Resident Evil 4, and then probably Resident Evil 2. But again, I'm gonna do like a tier list video, so that'd be really cool. You guys will see that. Um, PlayStation Gamer says, I got the platinum for Resident Evil 3 Remake a few days ago. I'm never going to defeat the final boss on Inferno ever again. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. It is a pain in the ass. But like once you get the pattern down, like I'm a lot better at it now than when I was on live stream where I couldn't even beat it. So, um, so it's gonna be cool. Like I'm gonna go back and probably play them again, let's play or something like that. Would you guys like that if I went and do a little let's play, old school style of just Resident Evil 3? Maybe pick up some stuff we didn't pick up, but like it wouldn't be live. It would be like old school. I don't know, just an idea of stuff to do on the downtime and more content. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I just kind of want to get an idea in the chat if anyone would be cool to see something like that come back. Just because RE3 I feel like deserves it, and it'd be really cool for me to work on something as well that has more to do with RE3 too. Because old school style was just like me recording it with audio and video. So the next Legacy highlight video, it's probably gonna be soon. It is on RE3, so it's just whenever we can edit it. GS Linux says yes, yes, yes. See, I got a lot of yeses in the chat. So what do you guys think? Let's talk Resident Evil 3 Remake, and I can post polls for you guys to vote on stipulations and stuff like that, as to like what mode you want me to play it on, and make it like a really fun one. And whether or not you guys want me on camera or not. And you might want me on camera at this point because I know it's been like a staple with our live streams, but this would be like more. This would be more of a, post-production, and I'll premiere the video kind of project. So it's see ya, Cody. So like if I were to do something like that, it wouldn't be so much like obviously chat oriented. It's going to just be me talking about the game in front of me. So do a 15-hour video about the tragedy of the freeze rounds being removed. Yeah, it'll just be me crying, I'll just be like, why didn't they bring back the freeze? Because I still cry about that every night. I do lose sleep over that. Ryan Redfield says the Dusu boss in RE5 or Professional is so hard to give me PTSD. Yeah, I mean, there was some. I think one of the most frustrating things in RE5 Professional was the fucking Jill battlesuit fight, because while you're trying to fight Wesker, she shoots you with the TMP. She puts your your meter immediately in dying, and if you're not right next to Sheva or Chris, vice versa, it's over. So Bob Wall says RE7 VR playthrough. I don't have the VR, so that is not going to happen anytime soon. We ever play any original RE2 mods? Origin of Species is a great one. Yeah, I mean, I'll check out. I would like to do mods and stuff like that, or do videos on mods. Yeah, saving Linda. Who knows? We'll see. Will she ever be saved? Stay tuned. There's more to come, I guess. Yeah, VR is fucking expensive, and to me personally, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it, because I would be like that person to only get it for RE7, but then I'm like, well, I just spent $400 on this, and I could spend like $400 and be halfway to like building a computer. So you know what I mean. So it's like I don't want to like have that. But yes, RE3 remake mods. So that's a good point. I may be able to do it on PC, so I actually may be able to fuck around with some mods for the Let's Play. So I'll let you guys know about that. I got a upgraded my RAM and my graphics card. I got a 1060. Shout out to Ben for the 1060. That I actually got I have a 1050 in here now, but I have a 1060 right here. It's just waiting to be plopped in. But yeah, so I might be able to run it, no problem. And that would be great because then I will be able to take advantage of the mods. More costume mods. Nemesis as Shrek and Ultron from Marvel. I believe it. Yeah, well, actually, that hockey fan, that is something that I will be starting next month. But you didn't hear that from me. That's another thing that I was thinking of doing. Because if I do a Let's Play this month, and then... yeah. That's coming. Don't worry. The ideas are brewing. Because I wanted to do it for like a 10-year anniversary of the channel, and this year is the 10th anniversary. Of course, it passed in February, but it's still the 10th year of the channel. So, you know, why not do a Sweet Home Let's Play? Do you know how complete the RE 1.5 builds are publicly available? $5 super chat from John Lemley. He says, I don't think they have any actual stuff to play, though. John Lemley, there are like more fixed builds that don't like freeze or lock up. You just got to go and find them. But yeah, they gradually kept trying to finish more and more. MW Lewis, what's going on, man? Good to see you too. Yeah, I'm just gonna surprise Perry because I don't think he's watching this right now, or if he watches it in post, he'll know. But I'm just gonna like post the video like randomly because I'm not gonna, again, like if I do Sweet Home, I'm not gonna live stream it. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be like a Let's Play style, you know. So it's gonna be more traditional. So and I can really pay attention to the game because it's probably gonna be a hard game and it's probably gonna be something that's gonna be difficult. Because older style NES games like that are very difficult, in my opinion. Some of them can be. You have to have some kind of like frame of reference of where you're going and stuff like that. So, you know, but yeah, definitely want to do that for the 10-year anniversary. And yeah, so the Silent Hill playthrough, Scott, that hasn't gotten shelved yet. I actually want to finish it this summer. Whenever I hit up Dave and he comes by and does it. And so it's not completely done. Silent Hill 3 was just kind of put on hold for a while. And, you know, I hate leaving any kind of playthrough or any game unfinished on the channel. So I want to make sure that we go back and finish Silent Hill 3. I actually still have 2 parts that are in the can that we recorded back in like December that I haven't released yet because we were doing a lot of RE3 stuff and I didn't want to like throw them out while we were trying to really focus on RE3 and do a lot of videos on RE3. I didn't want it to get lost in the shuffle. You know, I wanted to still get its due and people to watch it because a lot of people like Silent Hill on this channel that watch us, and we did Silent Hill 1 and 2. We did Let's Plays of them, and, you know, they were a lot of fun. And we're on 3 right now, and I'm loving 3. It's one of my favorites so far because Silent Hill 2 was an amazing game. So, yes, the answer is yes. We're going to go back. It's not shelved. And we're gonna go back and complete that. But I want to make sure that, you know, we do it when it's ready. $2 super chat from Jackie Boy. LTRE merch. Yes, we're still working on merch. Obviously, with we wanted to do it a lot sooner, and then COVID hit, so we just kind of had to adjust everything. And I know shipping and everything it's hard to even go to a post office right now. So. And even get that stuff organized. But yeah, the LTRE merch is coming, guys. Don't worry. We did have everything planned before COVID hit, and then we are just adjusting. So, John Lumley says, how much was the price for a platinum live stream of Dino Crisis 3? Also, what about Friday 13th on NES, no deaths, full playthrough? Oh, man. Well, I don't know if I could do that, but Dino Crisis 3, oh, man, no. I don't think you could pay us enough to fucking play that game again. That game is unfinished on the channel. but I don't even think we could finish it because that game is just so bad. Like it really is just really bad, and it's boring, and it was such a bitch because like we were gonna be doing a let's or a stream. We were supposed to do a live stream of Outbreak. That was the plan. Like we beat Dino Crisis 2, and then everyone liked Dino Crisis 2 back when we did that playthrough, and that's when we were only getting like 10 to 15 people a stream, right? And then I had everyone vote on Twitter whether or not we were gonna do Dino Crisis 3 or not, and it was Dino Crisis 3, Resident Evil Outbreak, and like something else, and literally it won by like one vote, and so that is exactly what we're stuck with, and we couldn't do it, and then to the point where we just retired it. So okay, so UPS is still open. Okay. Silent Hill 4, the room is so underrated. I feel like fans only talk about 1 through 3. Well, some people expressed me doing 4. I feel like we might have to do 4 if we did 1, 2, and 3 on the channel. Like the fans want me to do 4 already, so it's one of those things where it's like, all right, I made it this far. Anything beyond 4, I don't really think I'm personally going to touch, to be honest with you. I mean, I did play Homecoming and I did play Downpour in the past, like just off camera, obviously, like not recording it, and it was very underwhelming. So I think we'll definitely do 4, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it, and I definitely think it's going to be a really fun playthrough. But yeah, so the plan, we're going to try to revive Silent Hill 3 sometime this summer. Yo, Eli, what's going on? Yes, Dangerous Girl, I am going to send your steelbook out. I still have it. It's right over there, boxed up, ready to go. I just have to go to a post office that's actually open by me, because I actually have to get like packing tape and stuff like that, and do all that stuff. So I have the box and everything. It's in bubble wrap and everything. So Dangerous Girl, you have my messenger thing on Discord, so you have to send me your shipping address and information, and I can send it out this week. And then I'll send you the tracking so when it's on its way, and you got your digital code for Resident Evil 3, so I hope you've been enjoying that. How much for a Downpour playthrough? $5 super chat from John Lemley. Oh man, I don't know. Downpour. You just see Downpour. I feel like those games. Like it's not like a Dino Crisis 3 where it's like you can't play it, but it's just like really boring. So, $1 million. Yeah, Kyle. Dustin does like 4. Up until a certain point, I think, but I know he appreciates 4. Off topic, what do you think about the Predator movie franchise? Predator's great. I like Predator 1 and 2. I actually have the 4K collection sitting right over there. I didn't see the last film, okay, so I'm not going to say that movie was good, because I heard that it wasn't good, so I don't know. But yeah, so we're going to be doing a lot of stuff coming up. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna try to do, like, if I do the Let's Play, I'm gonna really try to do it in like one sitting, because I feel like I can really pull that off, and just like split up the parts for RE3, like just so it's easier. So like once it's done, it's done. I can just edit it, and it's like bam, ready to go. Yeah, definitely let me know what you think of it, Dangerous Girl, once you get that space cleared up. No, don't watch The Predator. Oh, man. So if Hockey Fan, I always trust Hockey Fan. If he tells me not to watch something, I'm probably not going to watch it. So, yeah, I'm not... See, it's like I can spend that time and pop in the first film and get just as much of enjoyment out of it versus, like, torturing myself, like he just said in the chat. Let's say if they're both an hour and a half to 2-hour movies, right? It's like I'd rather watch the first Predator, because then I don't have to worry about wasting my time with the last one. I remember Predators. Was it Predators or No, that was the last one that came out. The Predator. Predators had Topher Grace in it. Whatever one had that one. That was like okay, but it wasn't great. Like that was another one that I saw. I think I caught that on TV like years ago, and I was like, oh, this is not good. But it came in the collection like that I bought, so I'm like, I'm never gonna watch this. Brandon P says, Anthony, what direction would you like the next RE game to go? For example, 1 through 3. define survival horror. 4 through 6 were action, and the new games are first person. Well, the direction. Oh my Jesus, John Lemley, what the fuck? $100 super chat. Batman Dark tomorrow. 4K 60 frames platinum live stream. Oh my god. My back's up against the wall. I gotta do Superman 64, Batman Dark. Jesus Christ, John. Thanks for the super chat, man. Fucking MVP right here. To answer Brandon P's question, though, sorry, I had to shout out that super chat because that was a big one. Thank you, man. The next Ari game, I would say, I would just want it to be not first person, but it seems like the new trilogy is going to be first person, or if they make a trilogy, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, they make like an 8, they're probably going to make 9 first person if 8's first person, right? So, you know, I really want them to just be... Yeah, Lemley's literally a producer of the show. Thanks, Dan Can. I'm doing good. Missed you too, man. I would just want them to really, you know, scale it back and really bring back the characters and just keep it survival horror. You know, keep it like the remakes and, you know, not get too ahead of themselves and try something so, you know, out of the fucking... Like, I understand doing something different. Batman Dark Tomorrow is a terrible Batman game. Jesus, John, you just want me to play all these fucking games that are just shitty. We're going to have to call that playlist stream the John Lemley 6-pack. And it's just us drinking beer and playing all of the bad games that John Lemley donates to the show. Yeah, man, Brandon, to answer that. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of, you know, stick with the original survival horror, you know, theme and, you know, really just make it like a story that isn't so drawn out or overboard. Like, you know, 7 had the right idea for making it in a house, but then you wrote a bunch of these, like the script wasn't good, you know, like the story wasn't good. So I just really want them to get new writers and make 3 games that are like really close to the old ones as possible. But it doesn't seem like we're getting that, Brandon. So I don't know. Like, we just really got to see what 8 like really feels like at the end of the day. And, you know, there was a lot of stuff that came out before. Some of you guys might mention it in the chat about Resident Evil 8 being the darkest entry in the series. That's the tagline that's going around the past couple days, actually. And yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, I don't know. I mean, what's a dark Resident Evil game? You know what I mean? Like, how do they make it dark? If it's dark, it's got to really be good to make it feel like, man, this is dark. Like, you know, Last of Us is dark, right? And you feel that effect and you feel that dread. How are you going to do that with RE8? Like, how are you going to surprise me? You know, I want them to surprise me, and I want them to do something that that I'm not expecting, but in a good way. You know what I mean? And then I've heard Leon might be in the game, so who fucking knows? You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of shit that's going around, and we're going to have to see what can happen. RE FPS can work if handled properly, says John Lumley. I'd be curious about RE1 in a first-person perspective, or Code Veronica. It's not so much like I've never, to me, like, first-person isn't, it doesn't feel like Resident Evil to me, but I can play it. Like, if it's first-person, like, I didn't not like RE7 because it was first-person. You guys know this, and I even said that when I did the Legacy series stream. But at the same time, you know, you got to have a good story. So, RE always has been dark, says Quillen. Yeah, I guess it has been. I guess, like, how you define dark. You know what I mean? Like, some of the game... Like, because you can look at something and just be like, okay, that's just, like, silly, and that's not, like, dark. You know what I mean? Like Wesker coming out of the lava, screaming Chris. Like, that's not dark. You know what I mean? Like, that can almost be comical in a way. So, it depends on what you think is dark. I think Remake was dark. I think Remake 2 and RE3 were more dark. Definitely, because it was able to showcase those tones. Yeah, I don't know, Scott. It depends on if they're going to continue to keep the story. Code Veronica could be considered dark, I guess. Bring back Jill and Rebecca for RE8 is savage. Yeah, I would like to see Jill back in a main game. I agree, Dangerous Girl. I think they did have a little bit more forgettable characters. Exactly. RE6 can't really be taken seriously because it's like, you know, it's just there's so much going on. Brandon P says, Anthony, I'm with you. I recently played RE3 Remake and I fell in love with the game's story and characters. And considering most of the internet hates it, I thought it was enjoyable for a new fan. I thought it was enjoyable too. Shadow King says, hi, Anthony. Miss you and John. Yes. Well, we had to take a few weeks to work. We're back to work now, and I had to deal with some personal stuff. So we're back, Shadow King. So. Anthony, you know damn well if RE is in first person, it's not a Resident Evil game. Well, it depends because, if to me it doesn't feel like Resident Evil at all when it's in first person, but they can still make it a Resident Evil game. That's why I think that they should have made it a spin-off, because I think for a main title, personally, I don't think it works for a main title. Like, if you do a spin-off and you're trying to do something different, yeah, you could still call it a Resident Evil game. But to me, I always like fixed. You heard me in the podcast, Juan. You especially, you motherfucker. I always fuck with Juan, so but no, my opinion in the podcast where I said fixed camera angle is always going to be my preferred way to play Resident Evil, and that's the way it's always going to be. Erwin says, Anthony, what's your opinion on RE4 being the highest rated Resident Evil game ever? I can see it, because I do think RE4 is a great game. It's an amazing game. It's a perfect game, despite it being behind the back, it could still be a perfect game. You know what I mean? So ever since 6, I've always wanted an RE game to return to the series of survival horror roots with new characters, and 7 delivered at least to me, and I can't wait to see what Capcom does next with 8 and 4. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. John Lumley says, I've noticed an RE2 remake and remake have weird lighting. Everything's bright. Everything is bright. It's great, but the darks get muddy. Remake was dark, but still clear. Yeah, they all have different engines and different aesthetics, if you will, that go with their games. So, I think 3 definitely had more of 2's aesthetic, of course, because of the RE engine. $5 super chat from Jack Boy says, when is LTRE going to get sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends? I don't know. We'll see. Raid Shadow Legends. I don't know what the fuck that is. Definitely agree about 7. Should have been a spinoff. Says Mickey. Joe Baggins says, I got into RE and RE3 Remake. New fan, and the series is amazing. Well, that's the best part about it, you know what I mean? When you can scoop in as many new people as possible with another entry, and they do it in a way where it can really bring in a lot of people. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. And yeah, so in regards to, just gonna refresh here. In regards to any questions, volume seems low, says Doug. Is it low? Because I'm almost peaking on this thing, but I don't know. Who knows? But yes, I'll take any other questions before heading out of here. Anyone has any questions for me? Brandon P says, I hope the new Resident Evil games like 8 don't just milk fan favorite characters instead of creating actual good character arcs. I think a good RE game could be a post-RE3 Leon discovering more of Umbrella. Yeah, I mean, it seems like they might be going... it seems like they're trying... If Ethan is in it with Chris and Leon in this game, and they're trying to kind of bring back those old characters, they really just can't drop the ball when they show... They really can't drop the ball when it's shown... like, I don't want to see Chris the last frame of the game, and, I'm just like, what the fuck was that, And then the DLC doesn't do anything. I think, like, that's really, like, a letdown. Like, I think if you're going to bring those characters in and kind of, whether it's concluding or we might lose a character this game, it's one of those things. It's just one of those things where they really got to do it right. Do you think they should bring back any Alpha Parasite? They could. They could make that work. What's up, Ricky? I've been okay. PlayStation Gamer says, how is your cat doing? He did pass away. We put him down the first week of May, PlayStation Gamer. That's also why I've been away for a few weeks. Erwin Smith says, RE sales update. RE7, 7 million units after 3 years. RE2 Remake, 6 million units. I think RE2 will be a better seller at the end. I think so, too. It's definitely the more popular game. John Lumley says, would you reboot Bioshock and try to make an original, bigger remake? Or do you think following up to can work? I think, I don't know, Bioshock, they could reboot it. I mean, like, I only played the first 2 Bioshocks, so I can only speak for that. I didn't play Infinite, but they could make it work. Hey, Anthony, do you think RE2 and 3 would have been perfect if they were made in RE1 remake style? Yes and no, because it depends on if they are still like they could make it like the RE1 remake style, but still cut the same amount of stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like it depends on if they like kept more stuff or made Nemesis more prominent in the game. That would definitely work better. Kyle Whitehouse says, I hope the 4 remake, they tie it more to the story and not just a few of handed references. I agree, Kyle. It's a good point. Do you think that they will use the same face models of Chris from RE7? Probably not, Mickey, if they're listening to fans. They should probably change it. Thanks, PlayStation Gamer. I appreciate that, buddy. Some of the OG cast should die. Give some weight to the story. It's a bit ridiculous that they've all survived this far. Scott, I actually don't disagree with you. I do think that there should be a rift within the original group of people. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I wouldn't be against it as long as it made sense. Not like, so it's like fucking random and you're like, what the hell was that for? Sean Strickland says, Super Chat glitching. Well, been a while. Glad you're recovering from the marathon of madness, which is Resident Evil. Yes, Sean Strickland. Definitely doing good. Thanks for coming by and still being a member. Toby Jensen says, is Leon hung like Wesker? Thanks. Jesus, that's a crazy question. I don't know. We've never seen Wesker's dick, but I can imagine that Leon's dick is just as big. Ryan Redfield says, I honestly don't think RE4 is a perfect game, mainly because of the transition of Leon's character and some things in the story wasn't answered. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people feel that way. And me and John still feel the same way, where it definitely did start the spiraling of Resident Evil, where it went down a different path. So it did cause a lot of stuff that did happen later down the road, despite the praise that it gets. There's still no denying that. John Limley says, part of why Remake is so great was the original creator was actively involved. And the more than just some insight. That's true. I feel like that is missing for some remakes these days. A lot of the original people are absent. Doug Taylor says there are parts of 4 that could be cut or changed, in my opinion. Yeah, Doug, that's something we're going to bring up in the podcast, too. We're going to talk about that very point. Carly says, I hope when RE4 Remake comes out, we can actually get to see the fall of Umbrella, not just be told about it, about their stock markets crashing. Yeah. No, I agree. All this stuff, I agree, guys. Like, there's a lot of stuff that RE4 just kind of, like, swept under the rug and was like, all right, now we're here, and now we're, in Spain with Leon, and this is where we are, and it's not Umbrella anymore. So it's just, there's a lot of good points to that. And John Lemley, yes, did make a really good point about having more original people involved and making it more feel like home. You know what I mean? When you have those people, those cooks in the kitchen that are familiar with the original recipe that made Resident Evil great. And, that definitely can be missing to some degree. When you think about remakes and you think about the culture that we're in now. Brandon P says, do you think Capcom is running out of ideas for RE or struggling to find a new direction since all the remakes are happening? I'm very liberal of RE4 getting changes as long as it's enjoyable. Running out of ideas, as long as they, keep the main games fresh and they keep doing that, I don't think they'll be running out of ideas anytime soon because there's always stuff to go back to. But yeah, going back to remakes, of course, like sometimes you can be you're milking the cow, so to speak, the cash cow, because if you go back to 2 and 3 and 4 remakes, they're guaranteed to make money despite how you change them, despite how you do it. So like the cash cow is always going to be there for remakes. That's why they're there, to fund other things. I think that as long as they keep the ideas fresh with each remake, like they switch up the remakes, they do something different, they don't make it the same, and they make the main series. But again, 7 wasn't really the best way to convince me that you're not running out of ideas. So please, Capcom, convince me that you're not running out of ideas. Damien Post says the Fall of Umbrella is going to be a CGI intro now instead of text. You never know, Damien, you never know. Jack Boy says Wesker got his shit burned off. That's true. His dick is in lava somewhere. Patriot says if that's the case, then make Ashley useful instead of screaming all the time. It'd be interesting if they made it co-op. You know what I mean? OTS RE mostly works, but zombie hordes are starting to become a problem in terms of effective horror. Yeah, it depends on how they want to keep that, term effective horror, or stuff that's scary, or they figure out what's scary. Rory says, thoughts on possible uh, a Girth Crisis remake? No. I don't know. Girth Crisis. That's terrible. Erwin says, Anthony, do you prefer RE Revelations 2 to 7? Yeah, I would say I like Revelations 2 more than 7. Damien Poe says, I really don't want another remake if it's going to be more like 3. Great game, but lots of things were very underutilized and or cut. Yeah, so I think that's why people are definitely scared about 4. $5 super chat from Dylan. It says, just happy to see you guys are alive. LOL, legit happy to see you, man. LTRE. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Dylan, longtime supporter of the show, and Sean Strickland, and with another $5 super chat, says, as long as the merchant's playable in RE4 Remake, I'm hype. I know I'm dreaming. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. Kyle Whitehouse says, the more I play RE4, the more I hate Ashley. Everyone does not like Ashley. Sean Strickland said, I had to shut down YouTube and come back to get it to work. Well, I'm happy you got it working, Sean. Ryan Redfield says, I think the remake can still be done as long as the people are making it. The right people are making it and are passionate about it, and I know what they're doing. Well, we hope so. Dangerous Girl says, it seems like Slender Man ripoffs with sirens of a head seems to be trendy for something scary. Well, I think that's what they tried to do with RE7 in regards to, like, first-person horror was a big thing, and streaming was a big thing at that time. Streaming was taking off. I feel like horror, and, a lot of people might disagree with this because a lot of people like watching, Fortnite streaming and all that stuff, but I think horror streaming really catapulted streaming into the mainstream. I think horror games and horror streaming, that genre alone, with face cams, with seeing scares and genuine reactions, is the reason why streaming is as big as it is today. I'm saying it here now. You can mark my fucking words. Do you prefer Revelations 1 or 2? Probably Revelations 2. John Lemley says, I think part of why Ashley sucks as a character is because we see her from Leon's perspective when we know she's useless. Yeah, I mean, it depends on if she can... I mean, she can't use guns because she's too young, right? Unless she's actually, like, fucking trained and all John Wicked out in this remake. Then she'll be useful. But then, other than that, she's hiding in dumpsters when fucking hordes of enemies are there. Yeah, as long as the RE4 HD project exists, there's no reason for the remake. Yeah, but, it'll make money, so... Merchant playable in Mercs? Yeah, that'll be great. It's not a RE game until Leon crashes the car. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no one could have asked for the RE4 remake, but I feel like they're so close to it now that they're bound to do it, Like, I feel like they might even say, like, well, no one was really asking for a, like, remake of remake, like a remake of the first game. But, certain people are thinking about what that might be now, and, I think it might sell. We don't know. But we'll definitely get 8 before 4, so I think we'll get a little break from the remakes, and then they'll come and get that. Ashley gets kidnapped more times than Mary Jane from Spider-Man. It seems that way. She gets kidnapped, like, 4 times. She literally gets taken, like, 3 to 4 times in that game, like, away from you. If you count the first time that she got, just kidnapped into Spain by Krauser. Yeah, it prints money for Capcom, Damien Poe. That's a good point. He's selling those damn herbs. Leon can't drive. No, we can't. Even in RE6, he was just, like, done. Like, completely done. In the remake of RE4, they need to give us the chainsaw. They have to, with full decap and not censored. But it's probably going to be... The decap is going to be censored, motherfuckers, unfortunately. Yeah, there's always room to improve the games, you know what I mean? Thank you, Rick Rogues. I appreciate that comment. Giovanni's in the chat says, Anthony, Capcom won't remake RE4. They'll reimagine it. I'm still waiting for RE2 and RE3. Well, you don't know, Giovanni, because if they make it again, and they might not make it like a reimagining, they might just make it a remake. And when we say remakes, we mean reimaginings. But at the same time, it depends on what you consider a remake or reimagining. Our Final Fantasy VII was a remake, not a reimagining, right? So, Yeah. If you could remake RE4, what would you change? And what would you think Capcom will change? I would change Ashley, maybe being a playable character or of some sort, maybe, or being giving the option to play as her, so she's not as annoying. Um, and yeah, maybe go in more insight as to why Umbrella was, you know, died, or how Umbrella died. Christian, what's going on? If RE4 gets a remake, says Patriots, is the best possible solution is expand the village, short the castle a bit, and maybe the island the same amount of time. Maybe keep the Leon goofy lines and more. Yeah, they could trim it down a little bit. If RE4 remake does happen, the things do you think that need improving or fleshed out? Yeah, probably what I just said. Like just maybe showing more of the Umbrella shut down, and maybe make the story a little bit closer to the other Resident Evil games, so it doesn't seem so kind of far removed or a little bit more removed. Besides the fact that Leon's in it, backstory of Krauser, that could work too. Yeah, Brandon, Final Fantasy VII was a reimagining, but they still call it a remake. You get what I'm saying? Like they use the same terms for that. That's the point I was trying to make to Giovanni. Remake, reimagining could be used as like the same term if you really think about it. Because on the actual title it says Final Fantasy VII Remake, but it's a reimagining, and that's why I call remakes, even though they're reimaginings. I'm just saying that because Giovanni won't let it go for years. He hasn't let it go. 299 super chat from Jason. He says hashtag Where's Snappy? Hi Aunt, what's going on, Jason? Hope you've been doing well. Snappy's doing good. I just fed him a few hours ago. John Lumley says Krauser needs even less backstory in the time, so the boss fight can be even more cliche 80s action movie. Dangerous Girl says, Anthony, what do you think of the RE3 remake soundtrack? I love it so much. I love the soundtrack. So good. So much better than RE2. And I love the original, and I love the remake soundtrack. They're great. How do you feel about the RE4 being remade? I'm excited. I'm very excited. I definitely think it's good. It's a good game to remake as long as they, give it enough of a difference, between, like, they definitely improve on it. They don't do anything else at all, I guess, you know what I mean? It can go either way, though. But I'm excited. I'm excited for all things RE, I'm always going to try to stay excited, and, obviously if something disappoints me, and I'm going to be honest with you guys and tell you how I feel. So, yeah. That's it. So that's going to conclude this little session of Let's Talk. And I just wanted to kind of update you guys on everything, where I've been, where we've been. And we're going to be back this Thursday. I'll update the time. We'll get a time shortly. We'll make an event, and we'll make it on the community post and social media. We're going to be coming back with the Legacy series live streamed on Thursday. And I'll let you know what time that we end up doing that. And what RE game will you never replay? Probably Outbreak 2. I really don't want to replay that. Handsome Hansen, it is over. Detective Butler comes in at the last minute, says, hey, Aunt, hope you, John, Callie, Dustin are well. Thanks for streaming and breaking the silence. So, hey, $5 super chat from Detective Butler. Thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. And, thank you, man. I miss you. I miss seeing you in here. Shadow King says, Anthony, do you think they will cut some of the enemies in RE4 Remake? Yes, I think they might cut some stuff. Hopefully they add some more stuff in there. But yes, so thank you guys. Sorry if you're just jumping in here on the end. This will be archived, so you can go ahead and watch the archive. We are heading out of here for today's stream, and we'll be catching you guys on Thursday for me and John will be returning to Resident Evil 5 to be doing Lost in Nightmares, which is one of my favorite DLCs ever released, ever. So, we're going to be back on Thursday, because that is when, we're not streaming tomorrow. We're streaming Thursday because, again, we are basing it off of our work schedules now, because we are working. We're essential workers. So every week it's going to be a little bit different, but the content's not going to stop. I promise you that. We're going to bring you back the regular content starting this week. So you guys are going to be getting a couple videos, couple streams a week, and we're going to keep it going. So we appreciate you guys. Hit that like if you haven't yet. Hit that thumbs up, the 56 of you that are in here. Thank you for all the super chats. Of course, shout out to our producer, non-producer, but actual producer and supporter of the show, John Lemley, and of course Jackie Boy, Detective Butler, all these people that donated, Jason, Dylan, Sean Strickland, all the members out there, of course, always keeping it real and helping us out. And we appreciate you. We love you guys, and I love you guys, and we will see you guys on Thursday. Until next time.